Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Brilliant Wonders podcast. And today it's just a sunny day. Just feels so good. And I know it's cold out, but it's just, isn't that sun just like when it's sunny, it just feels like I don't know, ignites a fire or just like warms you up from the inside out. I love that. So here we are, bright sunny day. And, I have to say, when it comes to like when I hear other people's stories of maybe what has happened or what they've done in their life or what they chose to do and in order to make some change or some transformation in their life, what comes up so often is they were either listening to somebody else, they hired somebody else, there was some sort of um, support that they reached out for. And I remember the first time that I took that leap myself, like we all have like throughout our years maybe some mentors or things that people that we looked up to, people we listened to, people we wanted to be like, whether that was a coach, a teacher, it was simple like back when they were like put in front of us. Like we have this culture where we did put people, in front of kids, in front of, adolescents and all the way up through like even college, right? That there's people that we were to learn from, right? And then once that was done, it was like there was no more. It was done. Like you didn't really talk about it. And I know that people, we seek out mentors and things of that nature. But one thing it took me a while to do, but it was out of desperation, out of pure desperation. When I opened up my practice, I ended up meeting a business coach, which I had never, like going through chiropractic school and whatnot, you get some business, but not a lot of business teaching. And honestly, a lot of what I learned, I did not end up using much of, right? So I was drowning, like I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to reach out to per se. Um, and I don't know, this lady came into my life and she was the first business coach I ever hired. And I will say I didn't necessarily see a ton of results from it right away. But now looking back, I know what she was working on. It was mainly on me, helping me become healthy in my mind, understanding business and the flow of money and what money is and energetically what's going on. Anyway, so I hired this coach. And I will tell you, I had zero money. I did not have the money to hire her. I did it anyway in hopes that it would generate the money. So I invested in myself and to create the change. And it sparked some different stuff inside me that eventually we worked our way through, but it wasn't. So I went to, I'll just say that I did end up hiring somebody who I didn't expect to hire, who was not a chiropractor, more of a business coach to get me to where I wanted to be because I wanted to be transformed, right? I was looking at the way that I felt and what was, going on in my world and was like, this needs to look different. And out of desperation, I hired her and I came up with the money and I made it work. Right. And that was the first of many coaches throughout my life and different mentors. But I didn't really realize what was going on. I didn't realize that the support, like what parts of that support were so important to me or in my transformation until later on, and you start working with other people and it's yeah, definitely like it was the start. It was the start of many coaches along the way. And I think about that. I recently had my mom just hired a coach of sorts for some health stuff. And I was just so proud of her because she has been following this lady who has taught her a lot about her body, how it functions, all those things. And she was she was really intrigued by her. And it took her almost 2 years, I think, of doing this work and just getting the free stuff that eventually she hired the coach. And I'm just so excited. She hasn't started any of the program or anything, but she hired the coach, right? She hired this person because she wants it to look different. She wants it to be different. And what is it about this support that makes the transformation happen? You've got accountability potentially, you've got community potentially, you've got other people working on the same thing that you're working on. It's just it's a different world. It'd be like, as a rancher, growing up as a ranch kid, right? Neighbors. And I think about my dad. He gets this phone call every morning at 6 o'clock from his neighbor and his best friend. And they just kind of keep each other accountable of what's going on with markets, what's going on with life, what's going on with, their cows or, whatever it is. Of course, there's a lot of family stuff in there. So, like, just lifestyle things that they hold each other accountable, and they're actually curious and wanting to make sure each other are doing well, right? So, who in your life is someone you've been intrigued by or that you want to be mentored by? Um, as a chiropractor, I got asked all sorts of questions, right, on lifestyle, about parenting, which I'm not a parent, but on how to, manage kids with ADHD, or what's an alternative way to, you know, to help these kiddos that are maybe struggling in school, or dyslexia, different things like that. Like, I had a lot of questions about that. Now, I was a chiropractor. I probably wasn't the one that you would typically think of to ask those questions to, but when you become this this become known for something, right? For health and wellness, or for business, or for online businesses or finances. When you get known to be somebody of that nature, you do get asked these, certain questions. And so, out of being coached myself so many times, and just realizing just what kind of transformation actually happens when you have someone who is on your side, who you can reach out to with questions or concerns, or when you're having a rough day, or when something just isn't feeling right, like, just to help you along the way of your transformation. And I have grown to just absolutely love that part of my job. I love that part of my job. I love the questions. I love curiosity. I love thinking outside of the box. And when it comes to coaching and doing that now, like, here I am having a podcast, right? Sharing knowledge, sharing what's maybe worked in my life or my client's life, and just being that person, um, has shown me what it means to have that support, and what it, who I would actually reach out to for certain things. So I don't know. Have you ever tried to do something alone, and it works for a while, but then all of a sudden it just doesn't feel quite as good, or you plateau or something along those lines, and you want to, like, break through to the next level of something, and then it's time to hire the person. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to think about that, about, are you doing this alone? Is there anyone else who's even trying to do what you're doing? When it is only you, it's quite quiet, it's quite lonely, and a lot of times it doesn't keep us moving in the direction that we want to be going. They say, and I know most of you have probably heard this multiple times, but you are the average of the five people you hang out with the most. So whether that's, intelligence, or business, or health, or relational, like, healthy relationships. I know, if you're around people that maybe aren't all on the same page or have the same values as you, it can hold you back. So that's why I created some programs that I have created, because I know by the questions I get every day, especially in the chiropractic office, or I was around a lot of people. the questions I got weren't not just about chiropractic care. They were about lifestyle and how to live a healthy life. And the way that I have been able to do that is I'm around healthy people. I'm around people who are, or at least trying to be, trying to work through your mind and get out of your mind and into your heart, right? How to be able to make decisions quickly, how to not only quickly but like congruently, like there's just, if you are around these kind of people, that's awesome. If you need to reach out and find your people, please do so. If you want to travel, you need to like start being around and following people who are traveling. If you want calm and uh, a day of, of feeling good and energetic throughout the day, then you probably want to be around people who are feeling that way as or doing that. Like that's a high value of theirs. If you are around people who make excuses a lot or complain a lot, only talk about the weather or gossip a lot, guess what? You're going to end up doing that a lot as well. So I encourage you to hire or find your people, find your group, find your support. It is so grounding, and it's so liberating to know that when I'm having something off or something that I need some assistance with, in church is a great example of this too for me, or like a Bible study, or people who I know who are at looking at the way that I want to live or living the way that I want to live, like that I can reach out to them and that I have them in my back pocket as resources and support. So that's what the Core Life Transformation Program, that's a program that I've built, is all about that. It's about being able to work together in transforming, your life so that you are feeling a certain way and that you have support in the lifestyle that you're trying to create for yourself, right? Um, it's not about completely changing uh, everything, but it's about, hey, this is my lifestyle. This is how I want to live. And this is how I want to be in it. This is maybe outside of the box. This is probably not what everyone is doing. But I don't want to necessarily change a lot of the things that I'm doing, but I want to feel different in them. Then this program is for you. But whoever you're following, and whoever you're like looking up to, don't be scared to maybe go in a bit further, like dive in a little bit further, rather than just tipping your toe in and then bringing it back out, and then tipping your toe in, bringing it out. Like, what would it actually mean, and how proud and um, how proud would you feel if you actually invested time, money, energy, whatever it is, into something that you were really wanting, to be different or to feel differently. There's just a bit of um, a little bit more commitment to it, maybe, or a little bit more like you've got more skin in the game to be different and to give yourself a little grace and a little uh, can't even think of the word right now. Some grace to do it, and some like, you've got skin in the game. You've got skin in the game to be different, and I hope that you can give yourself enough respect and glory to do it, to do the thing, to like really be involved be involved with your transformation. Put action steps into your transformation. And sometimes with these, when you're asking for support, like you're pushed a little bit, but you're not going to go in too far because you've got somebody around that is going to be able to help you move through the threshold, kind of bust through the ceiling of whatever it is that you're like coming up against and plateauing against. That they have probably already done that before, right? And they can help you. They can help you. So this is all about just asking for help and making that okay. It's totally okay to ask for help and to, yeah, invest in yourself a bit. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one for me to talk about because it's obviously I'm talking about things that I do and I help people with. But no matter who it is, no matter who it is that you're wanting to dive in with a bit further or to be around, like you can do it and tip your toe in back and forth, and you're never going to change that pattern. But as soon as you like fully immerse yourself in something that you're really wanting to make a different or make a change in, it will happen. That transformation will happen. And I just encourage you to. I encourage you to feel what it feels like to actually move through that, bust through that ceiling one time. Just try it once, bust through the ceiling one time, and you'll just want it more and more and more. You'll want that endorphin rush, honestly, that endorphin rush of just seeing the change and being part of that change, and emotionally like just feeling the change actually in the transformation in your body. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what part of your lifestyle that you're trying to work on, whether it's, you know, your spiritual life or your relationship or your career or personal life or your health, like any of that, any of those things, when you actually feel the ceiling break, it is so amazing. It is so amazing, and you know from that day forward that nothing is going to feel the same. It'll all feel a bit different, and it's just like, whoa, okay, this is cool. This is cool. So I encourage you, whatever it is that you're following or working in, and you just feel like you are kind of plateauing, dive a bit further. Hire hire the person that you were wanting to hire. Um, Join the Bible study that you're wanting to we're wanting to, like, put that time and effort in, because oh my gosh, it is so worth it. All right, thanks everyone. That's it for the Brilliant Wonders podcast today. We will see you next week.